Hello students, welcome to YouTube channel Vidya for Success. Dear students, from this video, let us start a new unit, diagrammatic and graphical presentation of data. Students, we know that data doesn't convey lot of important things. That is, a common man, a layman cannot understand the data put forward. If you go through newspaper or any other reading materials, there will be lot of data, maybe numbers or percentage wise. But the common people, they cannot make any meaning of those data. So that's why instead of representing the data in a plain way, it would be better if we represent the data in terms of diagrams and graphs. So there is one very important word used. Instead of using thousands of words, just a common or ordinary image will make a lot of sense. In the same fashion here also, instead of using or instead of putting lot of effort in compiling and putting forward the data, it's the best way to present all these data in the terms of diagrams and graphs. That's why here we will be studying in this particular video what is the usage or what is the importance or what are the different rules that are considered with respect to representing a data in terms of diagram and graphical representation. So to begin with, let us consider what are the important things that is very much necessary, or what is the importance of diagrams and why we have to consider diagrams and graphs instead of a plain data. So the first important feature is they are attractive. Yes, of course. So when you present the data in a bar diagram or a pie chart or else in a histogram, then the data looks very attractive, and also hence the data and diagrams are very much attractive, and they impress the common man. They can be easily used in newspapers and magazines, so that the data or the information can be conveyed in a more aggressive manner. That's the first importance. So data or diagrams and graphs, they are attractive compared to a plain text. The second importance is they give bird's eye view of the entire data at a glance. If you have gone through certain magazines and newspapers, they have given too much of data. Maybe with respect to, let us consider the case of coronavirus, then there will be a lot of information regarding a number of active cases, number of deaths happening, number of recovered cases, all the things, and percentage wise each of things have been given, let us say, in terms of plain text running in paragraphs. But it is difficult for us to make any sense of this data. On the other hand, if the data are presented in a graphical form or in a diagrammatic manner, then it will be easy for us to understand. Nothing but just like a bird, eagle flying high in the sky, where it can look out easily for the prey. In the same fashion here also, the diagram and the graph will give us a bird's eye view. We can get a holistic image, we can get a holistic picture what's happening with the data, and we can take up a decision at a faster rate. That's why another important thing attached with diagram is they give bird's eye view of the entire data at a glance. Third important feature is they can be easily understood by a common man. This is very, very important. So the data may be presented in a magazine, in a newspaper, or in any other documents or study materials, whatever may be the thing. But we have to reach a common man. If the data is easily absorbed by the common man, then it can be understood that the data has reached maximum, target audience. So that's the reason here. First, if the data is presented in a diagrammatic or graphical presentation, then they can be easily understood by a common man. Another importance is they can be remembered for a longer period of time. So if the data is plainly represented in a textual form or in a percentage wise, then the chances of remembering it is very slim. On the other hand, if the data is represented in a bar diagram or in any pie chart like that, then that diagram can be remembered, or you can recall them easily. So nothing but that particular image remains in your mind for a very long period of time. The fifth importance is they facilitate comparison. So if you want to compare any two set of articles, let us say you want to compare two mobile phones or two or three mobile phones or whatever the may be articles, then comparison can be easily done with the help of diagrams instead of plain data. So that's why you can consider all these important things as what to say advantages of going with diagram and graphical representation instead of plain data. Next, okay, we need to consider diagram and graphical representation in order to what to say put forward our thoughts. Fine, but we have to follow certain rules. Simply we cannot construct a diagram or a graph as and how we wish. So we have to adhere to certain rules. So what are the general rules for constructing diagrams and graphs? Let us go through each one of them. So the first rule is every diagram should have a suitable title. What do you mean by this? If there is a diagram, if there is a chart, maybe bar diagram, column chart, or a pie chart, but if that particular diagram is not having title, then a common man cannot easily relate, cannot identify whether the diagram is talking about what. He cannot able to identify it. So that's why each and every diagram have to carry a title. For example, as you can notice here on the screen, here we have considered a diagram. So here we have considered column chart bars. Okay, these column bars are erected against the total asset values. Okay, for example, here we have considered different banks: SBI, HDFC banks, ICICI banks. So they will be having certain assets. So here easily I can make out the one of the biggest lender in India, that is SBI, is having the highest asset. At the same moment, IndusInd Bank is having very small, very what to say negligible amount of asset compared to the SBI. So here it will be easy for us to identify first of all the data. It will give us a bird's eye view. Apart from that, each and every diagram need to have a title. So the first rule is every diagram must have a title. Here the title is total assets in crores. Okay, so this is the title. Next rule is proper scale according to the size of the paper should be selected. So if you want to put forward a diagram or a graph, then we can consider a particular sheet of paper. So depending upon the size of the paper, we have to go with the diagram. We cannot go with a bigger diagram for a smaller size of paper, so it doesn't look good. So here the scale of a diagram need to be chosen according to the size of the paper. So that is the second rule. The third rule says that it should be neat and attractive. Along with that, it should not be overloaded with more information. So first of all, the diagram need to be very neat and clear so that we can easily make out what the diagram is speaking about. And also at the same moment, it should not be overloaded. So here the first diagram, it's talk about Princeton's rank compared to the top 10 universities in the USA. There are too many universities, but all the universities are compared with one particular university, Princeton. Okay, so easily you can identify what the diagrams they are talking about, and they need to be very neat, attractive, and also at the same moment they should not be overburdened, overloaded. The next rule is to indicate different parts. Suitable shades, colors, and crossing should be used. So a diagram can have different parts. For example, here, please take the case of here diagram. It is having different parts. Okay, so the first of all, the first column bars is talking about the car Fiat. Second one is talking about Audi car. Next one is Ford car. So here the first, the blue color, it talks about speed. Next one is user ratings, mileage, and safety. So in order to represent each and every parts, we have used different colors. You can go with shadings, we can go with crossings. So to indicate different parts, we can go with different types of suitable shadings, colorings, or crossings, so that the user can easily identify them. Next, followed by this, the next one is an index indicating different shades, colors, and crossings. So okay, now in my diagram I have used different colors and all the other things, fine, but I have to tell the user, for example, here I have used blue color. Blue color indicates what? I need to inform them. A common man should understand. So here the blue color indicates speed. So you can see the speed of Fiat car is speed of Audi, and free speed of Ford car. Similarly, user rating is indicated with orange color, mileage is indicated with a gray color, safety is indicated with yellow color. So an index, a proper index should always be there with any of the diagrams or graphs. That's another important thing. The next one is followed this. It should be complete in all respect. So a diagram, whether it may be a ordinary bar chart, column chart, maybe a pie diagram, whatever the thing, so it should consider all the important things, maybe title, maybe all the data represented index. So each and everything data, everything should be incomplete, nothing should be left over. Okay, so followed by that, a diagram always, it should be a simple one, and at the max it should be a self-explanatory. So a common man should not take an help of another statistician to explain to him what's this particular diagram or chart talking about. So it need to be a self-explanatory one. So these are the different rules of a particular diagram or graphs which need to be considered while constructing them. Thank you.